Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back. So, getting our steps in. Treadmills. Step steppers. A little busy today. Knee feels a little sore, so we're getting it in on the good old treadmill. 12-degree incline. 2.5 speed. We'll knock out 30, 40 minutes today for this first session in for cardio. Our weight in today, 210 half. So we matched yesterday. Perfectly fine. It's our current low. So I will take it. I'll probably go a few days and get stagnant at this weight and then just dump a bunch again in the whole whooshing effect. But let's talk training today. So I actually just made a couple programs for a few friends that are at different strength levels, but they both kind of have the same goal, right? They're bigger inside a statue as per they're a bit thick. So they both kind of want to lean down a little bit. They're not too focused on strength. Strength is a part of it, but we're more focused about overall production of density and production of nice solid mass while slowly dropping some weight. So, easiest way to go about this is you don't need a shit ton of volume. If you're really doing more than 1 to 2 warm-up sets for a movement to feel the weight, make sure you're feeling as strong as the time before, just to make sure you don't throw too much weight on for your working sets. You're kind of doing too much there. So you should have a warm-up set at 50% weight, a warm-up at 75% of your working weight. Then you're going to move into your working weight. Working weight is going to be what you can do for 10 to 15 reps. You should be failing rep 14, 15 on your first 2 sets for sure. If you're getting past 15 reps, it's time to increase the weight. You're working too light. You're making your volume too easy. Your third set, you should be failing pretty much around 10 reps, 11 reps. And that's because you're already been fatigued at this point. Now, your first 2 sets, you can get to 10 to 11. And your third one, you can get to 10, 9. You're right in a good sweet spot. Now, if you can't get to 10 reps, the weight is too heavy. Then the other thing to be thinking about when you're working in this 10 to 15 rep range and setting the weights up that way, we're not looking to take the power lifting approach. We're not looking for, minute and a half to 3 minute rest periods. We're looking for that 45 seconds, minute rest, and you get into your next set. Getting those 3 sets pushed out quickly like that is going to give you a wild pump. You're going to get massive fatigue, and you're going to get stronger while you're getting leaner. So, because if you're starting off heavy, you have the available energy, assets available to you to put on strength, because you have that extra fat stores. Now, if you're already lean and you're trying to get bigger, you've got to at least be eating in a maintenance, but you're going to have to be in a surplus to put on size. So now you can get stronger while being leaner, but it's really hard to put on size while being lean. So the getting stronger while in a deficit applies to people that are, plus 19, 20% body fat. maybe even like, say, 16% body fat on the lowest side of that. Like, you can get stronger and a little bigger being at that point. Now, if you're eating at maintenance at like 16, 18%, you'll get stronger, but you're going to end up getting leaner while you're doing that as you add on a little more muscle tissue, because that's just what's happening, right? You're building more muscle. So now your body fat percentage is going down because you're eating the same, but gaining muscle. That's the whole reason to like the main gain type of approach. But now if you're 20, 25, 30, 35% body fat, being in a 500 calorie deficit per day, you're going to get into those fat stores for the energy, but you're still going to have so much available energy to you with what you're consuming, with what extra is in your body already, that you can power through and make some wild gains while you're getting down to that point. So don't think just because you're big that you're not going to, and you're in a deficit, that you're not going to get stronger and you're not going to get bigger, because you're going to. So, and you don't have to be super big to put on size and strength if you're already lean. You just got to eat enough to get that recovery happening. And that's where, main gaining is going to be 100, 200 calories of a surplus. It's not, I need to eat 4,000 calories and you weigh like 180 pounds. Like, it's not how that works. You're just going to put on a lot of body fat and almost no muscle. So, now, that 10 to 15 rep range keeps you based in hypertrophy. So you're going to gain the most size possible as long as you're taking those sets to failure. Now, if you're just, say, sitting on the leg press and you're texting on your phone while you're doing your leg presses, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. Like, come on. You're not going to make any fucking progress there. Put that phone down, add some fucking weight to it, push that shit. Because if you're able to sit there and text, you're not even thinking about what your legs are doing. You're not contracting those things. You're not squeezing them. You're not controlling the weight. So I see that over and over on a lot of the machine stuff. People are texting while doing leg extensions and leg curls and abductors and adductors and leg presses. It's like, how are you doing that? When I'm on that thing, man, I'm gripping them handles. I'm squeezing the fuck out of like everything to keep tight, controlling my breathing, and like concentrating on trying to get my legs to work because I'm moving weight. So it's one of those things, if you're just kind of going through the movements, you're not doing anything. You're wasting your time. So now, unless you're old, you have an injury, something like that, and you're just PTing, that could be a different story. You're just trying to keep your muscles from atrophying, keeping the blood flowing, keeping the joints from getting tight. That's a different story. But if you're watching this, that's not what you're here for. You're here to put on size, put on strength, and look good. So, Seth Ferosu said, functional and fuckable. So, we are, in that mindset. We're here to get shit done. So, and kind of came up on this topic because the treadmill I'm working at has the seated calf raise right next to it. There's a couple thicker dudes on it as well that they just did like 7 sets each of calves with like 2 minutes in between. They're doing 8 to 10 reps, but they only have one 45-pound plate on there. They're gabbing to each other during their set. They're not focused on moving their calves. They're doing it super fast, like no control, so it's way too easy. So it kind of makes me wonder, like, well, I've seen them in here for months, and one of them actually kind of looks fatter than when I first saw him. So they're either not dieting or they're dieting the same, but their training just sucks. And looking at that, unfortunately, I think that's the thing, is they're wasting their time with too light a weight. Now, I'm not saying you got to be doing something, you can only do 2 or 3 reps of. That's when you're into powerlifting stuff or strength phase. And for the most part, the average person doesn't really need that. Like, unless they're just super weak, you're just starting. Yeah, a max day, or should I say, a powerlifting style compound based workout with hypertrophy based accessories for everything. That's going to benefit them the most, because that's when they're going to grow the most. So if you can put them under the most load that's safe and work in that 3-5 rep range, maybe even 6 to 8, they're going to put on more density in that period of time. So there's a time and a place for it, but that's going to be, your leg presses or your squats, your hack squats, your bench press, your incline press, your dumbbell presses, your machine presses, your overhead press, if you have strong shoulders. It's going to be, your hip thrusts and some sort of deadlift movement, whether it's trap bar, conventional, or sumo, or even like dumbbell deadlifts. Now, LRDLs, obviously, we're not going that heavy because it's more of a good morning. So there's a lot of ways to approach training, but for the average person, there's a pretty generic strategy that is effective. But with that, guys, make sure you're working towards your goals, getting your stuff done. Most of all, just don't be a lazy fuck.